Have you ever wondered if the world around you is real, or if it's all just a sophisticated illusion? What if everything we know, our lives, our planet, even the stars, was part of an intricate simulation? It might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, but physicist Melvin Vopson and tech mogul Elon Musk both believe this could be true. In this video, we're diving deep into the simulation hypothesis, exploring the mind-bending theory that might just change how we think about reality itself. Let's unravel this mystery together. The question of reality. Have you ever had that strange feeling, like you're not quite sure what's real? You wake up in the morning, you go through your routine, and the world around you seems solid and unchanging. But what if it isn't? What if everything you know, the people, the places, the very air you breathe, isn't real at all? It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? But here's the twist. This idea isn't just some far-fetched fantasy. Physicist Melvin Vopson, from the University of Portsmouth, has raised a fascinating possibility. What if the universe we live in is actually a simulation? It's a theory that's been floating around for years, but Vopson's approach brings something new to the table. He suggests that information, the fundamental stuff that makes up everything we perceive, could be the key to understanding whether our reality is real or just an illusion. Imagine, for a moment, that we are living inside a computer program, one so advanced that we, its inhabitants, can't even fathom it. We'd be like characters in a video game, completely unaware that our world is just a virtual construct. Mind-boggling, right? But think about it. What if all of this, all the people, places, and events that we experience, are nothing more than sophisticated coding running in the background of an incredibly advanced simulation? Vopson's theory challenges everything we think we know about existence. It forces us to reconsider what we take for granted, what's real and what's not. And it doesn't stop there. This theory digs into the very heart of our existence, the nature of consciousness, reality, and even the very fabric of the universe itself. Melvin Vopson's perspective. So, what exactly makes Melvin Vopson's theory stand out in this entire simulation debate? Well, let's dive into something we all use daily but don't often think about: information. Information, in Vopson's view, is not just something we store on our phones or computers. It could be the very foundation of everything around us, from the chair you're sitting on to the thoughts in your head. Sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, right? But stick with me here. Vopson's work suggests that if information is the building block of reality itself, then the idea that our universe could be a simulation starts to make a lot of sense. In his view, everything in the cosmos, atoms, planets, galaxies, could ultimately be encoded with vast amounts of data, much like how digital information makes up the worlds we create in computers and video games. To put it simply, just as video games use complex coding to create virtual worlds, what if our universe works in a similar way? Vopson proposes that the universe might be made up of fundamental bits of information, with each bit representing a smaller, measurable unit of reality. This data, he believes, could very well be programmed by an advanced civilization, potentially explaining the glitches or odd coincidences we sometimes experience in life. What's really fascinating is how Vopson's theory bridges the gap between physics and philosophy. If reality itself is just complex information, what does that say about our existence? Are we just the products of a highly advanced program, running according to predetermined rules? Could our consciousness and our perception of the universe simply be a reflection of data flowing through a cosmic system? Elon Musk's viewpoint. Now let's talk about one of the most influential figures in tech today, Elon Musk. You might know him as the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, but he's also been quite outspoken about a fascinating idea, that we could all be living in a simulation. While it might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, Musk's take on this theory is rooted in technology and advancements we can actually see happening right now. Musk points to the rapid rise of video games, virtual reality, and simulations as key evidence for this theory. Think about how far we've come in the gaming world. What started as simple pixelated characters on a screen has now evolved into ultra-realistic, three-dimensional virtual environments. We can now immerse ourselves in games and experiences that are incredibly lifelike. The boundaries between the digital and physical worlds are blurring at an alarming pace, and Musk argues that we're on the verge of creating simulations so advanced that they could be indistinguishable from reality. Now, take that leap a little further. If we're creating these hyper-realistic simulations today, what's stopping more advanced civilizations from creating simulations that are so sophisticated we couldn't even tell the difference between the simulated world and the real world? Musk has even gone as far as to say that based on the speed of technological progress, it's likely that we, too, could eventually be living in a simulation. And here's the kicker. If it's possible for us to create these advanced simulations in the future, what's the chance that we're not already inside one? Musk's Viewpoint takes the idea of simulation theory to a whole new level, blending cutting-edge technology with philosophical questions about what reality truly is. If technology keeps advancing at this rate, could we eventually find ourselves creating worlds within worlds? Or are we already living in one? Understanding of reality. So let's pause for a second and take all of this in. If we are indeed living in a simulation, what does that mean for how we view the world around us? It's easy to think of this theory as just another mind-bending idea, something fun to debate over a cup of coffee. But the deeper you dive into it, the more profound the implications become. If we take the simulation hypothesis seriously, it forces us to completely rethink everything, from the nature of existence to the concept of free will. For starters, let's talk about consciousness. If we're living in a simulated world, are our thoughts, feelings, and actions just a result of programmed algorithms? Are we merely following a set of instructions embedded in our very DNA, like characters in a video game? The idea that our entire consciousness could be simulated raises all sorts of questions about what makes us us. Are we truly in control, or are we just playing out a script that's already been written for us? Then there's the question of reality itself. If our universe is just a simulation, does that mean our entire perception of space, time, and the laws of physics are artificial constructs? Could the stars, the planets, the very ground we walk on be nothing more than data points in an elaborate virtual system? It's a terrifying thought, but also a strangely liberating one. If the universe is a simulation, then perhaps the boundaries we think we have in life are far more fluid than we ever imagined. If it's all just code, could we rewrite it? Could we manipulate the simulation much like programmers tweak a game's mechanics? And what about purpose? If our existence is nothing more than a highly sophisticated simulation, does that render our lives meaningless? Or does it open up new possibilities for exploring what it means to live, to exist, and to be conscious in a world built on digital foundations? Reality versus simulations. So, where do we stand now? After diving into the possibility that our universe could be a simulation, we're left with more questions than answers. The theory has certainly sparked our imagination, but it hasn't provided concrete proof, at least not yet. While some scientists and thinkers like Melvin Vopson and Elon Musk have presented compelling arguments, the truth remains elusive. Are we living in a highly advanced computer simulation, or is the reality we experience the true reality? This debate has profound implications not just for the world of science and technology, but for each of us as individuals. If we were to accept that our lives are part of a simulation, it could completely shift how we approach our existence. Would we see the world as something more malleable, more open to change? Or would we feel as if we're trapped in a predetermined script with no real agency or control? These questions challenge our fundamental beliefs about free will, consciousness, and the nature of the universe itself. The beauty of the simulation hypothesis is that it doesn't have a clear answer, at least not yet. It keeps the conversation going, opening doors to new ways of thinking about reality, technology, and our place in the cosmos. Whether or not we'll ever be able to prove or disprove the idea that we're living in a simulation remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. It will continue to fuel philosophical debates, scientific explorations, and even pop culture for years to come. As technology advances and our understanding of the universe grows, perhaps we'll one day have the tools to uncover the truth. Until then, the debate rages on, challenging us to think more deeply about the nature of existence itself. If this theory about living in a simulation has got you thinking, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-bending discussions on futuristic technologies and scientific mysteries. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think we're living in a simulation, or is reality just as it seems? Drop your comments below and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting content right here on InnoVision Tech.